Yeah, so we'll start standing. So if you want to get ready to do that, that's where we will be today. And we are going to stretch first. So set your band aside. And while I do put my hair up. So, okay, so we're going to stand with our feet nice and comfortable, wider than hip distance. Okay, so I want you to feel really stable. That's your foundation. I want you to find all your toes. Find the heel, kind of rock back and forth, and make sure you're stable on your feet. Okay, so wider than hip distance. We're going to pull up the belly. We're going to set the shoulders down. We're going to keep those shoulders down as we inhale. Arms are going to come up. Shoulders pull down. Palms face each other. Now rotate palms out as you exhale. Pull your belly tight. And we'll go again. Inhale. Don't let the shoulders come up. We're going to do that next. Exhale. Press down. We'll go 2 more. Keeping the ribs nice and tight, the core tight. And exhale. 1 more big. And now hold the hands reaching to the ceiling, okay? And we're going to start with a shoulder lift. So fingertips are going to start to reach farther as the shoulders come up. Now pull the shoulders down. Inhale up, not a big move. Exhale, pull them down. So as you're inhaling, shoulders kind of reach up to the ears. As you exhale, slide those shoulder blades down the back. 2 more. And last one. And now we're going to keep those arms up. We're going to reach one arm higher than the other. So I want you to feel like you're really stretching that side waist and switch sides. And reach, almost like you're finding that rope. And just breathe at your pace. Go for 3. Keep your belly tight. Keep the ribs pulling back. And last set. And press the arms down and roll out your shoulders. I've done this already. Kind of loose already, but we're going to bring the arms back up on an inhale. I'm going to take my right hand and grab my left wrist. Okay. So I'm going to use that right hand as a stretching tool. So we're going to curl over away from, or to the hand that's holding the wrist, that side. Now draw that wrist away like you're trying to pull it from the shoulder. And then come up nice and tall. Switch sides. Curl over at the waist. Pull on that arm. I know that sounds really bad, but draw the wrist away. Try to lengthen and get into that side waist. Come up nice and tall. We'll go again to the other side. Switch wrist. Pull or draw that wrist away. Lengthen that neck. Come up to center. Keep your belly tight. Remember, as you come up through center, you want to really keep that core as tight as you can. Come up on that exhale. Here we go. 1 more. We're going to add rotation. So curl over as you're drawing that wrist away, pulling it out of the shoulder, rotate, look down to the floor. Keep drawing that wrist. You should feel a different stretch here. And then come up and switch sides. This will be your last one. And rotate, keeping that belly tight and pulling on that wrist and coming up to center. And exhale, press it down. Shoulders nice and loose. Okay. Hopefully you feel good. Okay, so we're going to stay here. We're going to go into, you're going wide. I don't know why, but I like this one. So wider foot, toes don't have to be super external, but connect with those toes. So all the toes are on the floor, heel is nice and solid. We're going to bend into the knees, taking our heel of our hand to the top of our knee or top of our thigh, okay? So you're stretching that tailbone out behind you, but pulling those shoulders down, lifting the chin. Now tuck, pull the navel to the forehead, and then stretch it out. It's just a cat-cow. But using that push into the knees to really get that extra stretch, almost like you're pushing away from the floor. We'll go a couple more. And lifting that chin. As that chin lifts, remember, draw the shoulders down and pause right here. We're going to straighten the legs, stay in that flat back, take the hands down to the floor. Okay. And we're going to go for a big stretch, hamstring stretch. So stick that tail out behind you, draw your chest closer toward the knees, let your head fall. And just go slow here. Let your spine release. So no tension in the spine. I'm going to rock to shift side to side. Let your head hang. That spine should feel that nice stretch. My spine feels like it's getting longer and longer every time I shift. So I'm letting everything go here. And now I'm going to shift over to the right foot, place my hands on either side of that right foot, rotate that foot out a little more external, okay, to the right, and drop the chest toward that knee, okay? Dropping toward that right knee, hands are on either side. I'm going to come back to center. I'm going to open up my left toes a little wider, walk over to that left side, drop my chest down. Nice view, right? All right. At least you can see me hanging. And then come back through center. Okay, so your feet are a little external, your tail's out behind you, your back is flat. We're going to bend the knees, sit down like you're a little frog, pull the shoulders down, press up, chin tucks to chest, push into the floor and really round the spine, and then bend the knees, lift the chin, sit to the floor, and then press up. We're going to go one more like that. So really push into the floor, round the spine, pull the belly up, and now lift the chin, pull the shoulders down with a flat back. We're going to straighten the legs. Take your hands to the tops of your legs as you press yourself up nice and straight. Good job. Okay, so we're going to go into a roll down. All right, so we're going to do it in a couple different foot positions. So I'm going to have you guys go maybe, depending on how long your legs are, maybe a little bit off the mat with the toes, maybe, okay? And then just comfortable. So you want that rotation of the feet not to be super wide, okay? Just comfortable. Shoulders are down. Take your inhale. And as you exhale, let the chin fall. Keep your belly pulling in as you start to curl. And we're going halfway just for this first one, okay? So when you get to your halfway, I want you to feel like you're curled or arched over a round ball. Hold the belly up, then you're going to re-stack the spine. We're going to roll it down all the way to the floor, letting that head just feeling the weight of the head as you're curling down to the floor. Hands are going to come down. Hold it here. Look up to the belly. Suck the belly up from the floor as you start to roll yourself up. Keep those toes connected, heels connected, legs are strong. And we'll go one more time like this. Rolling through the spine, just trying to get that big stretch in the spine. And then rebuild, tuck, tuck, tuck that chin, pull that belly in. And come on up. We are going to bring our feet together, and we're going to do the same thing. So it's a little bit harder when your feet don't have as much width to stabilize you. So we're trying to find a little balance here. We're going to drop the chin to the chest. Make sure all your toes are connected, your heel is connected. Pull the belly in as the hands start to just reach for the floor. The head is heavy. Pause at the bottom. You're going to take a big step with one hand out and walk the other one out. And you're just going into a plank. But we're not going to work too hard here. But I do want you to feel a little upper back work. So really push away from the floor. Lighten those fingertips, a little bend in your elbows. We're going to shift one heel back as we bend the opposite knee, but we're staying in a plank today. Okay, so we're just prancing in our plank. So don't worry about how low you go into your plank, but I am pushing into my hands to press my heel to the floor. So not really a super perfect plank, but belly is tight, upper back is working, chest is lifted away from the floor. We'll go 2. And last set. Keeping the legs straight, the heels are up. I'm going to press myself into that pyramid shape. So as I get into my pyramid, I kind of fool around with positioning. So I want to press into my palms. So I'm pushing away from the floor. My ears are lined up with my biceps. I'm pulling my belly tight. I'm trying to press my heels down and stick my butt up. And now I'm going to tuck the tail as I round through the spine, lift the heels, and come up into a plank. And then you're going to start from the head to the tail. Tuck the chin. Push from the floor. Roll through the spine. Pull the belly in. Press back into that pyramid shape. Lift those heels. Tuck the tailbone. Roll through that spine. Lift the chin. Lengthen the neck. Press away from the floor. And one more. Curl, curl, curl. Shift back to the heels, walk the hands back, and you can bend the knees if you need to, and roll yourself up. Oh, a little warm, hopefully. Okay, hopefully your socks didn't come off at home. Okay, we're gonna take the band, we're gonna place it around our ankles. All right, so hopefully you tied your band so that you have that loop about a foot round, okay, circumference. And then I want you to have tension on that band. And I'm going to step off my mat because I don't want to fall. This is going to be a little balancey, okay? So the band is low on the legs and it's flat, okay? So you want to make sure it's kind of above the ankle bone, but not any higher. Don't bring it up. Okay, although it probably doesn't matter. All right. So I want to have tension on that band. So my feet are placed probably 2 feet apart. You place your feet however you feel. Don't go wide with that external, just a little tiny out turn with the toes. Pull your belly in. Feel the tension on the band. Don't let that tension go. All we're going to do is lift one knee, lift heel, press to the floor, and lift the other. Okay? So as you're doing this, you're just moving through, kind of moving around the hip, bending that knee, getting some flexion in the knee, the ankle, and you're pushing into those toes as you lift the heel up. I want you to feel that press into the floor. Your hips are not moving. You guys look great. I know you guys look great at home too. Yeah. So much fun, right? Okay, thanks for joining me today. Okay, let's go for 2. Just a little warm up. And last set. Good. And pause here. Guess what's happening now? We're going to lift both heels. So we're going to lift and lower with control. Lift. Try to keep those ankles nice and stable. So you've got that kind of resistance that you have to work against. So it might help stabilize a little bit of the ankle movement. But I want you to feel that pull as well. Keeping the belly tight and the shoulders down. Good. We're going to go for 3. Just a little calf warm up. And nice and slow. And here's your last one. And you're going to lift up maybe an inch, just an inch. Find all the toes. Squeeze the glutes. Pull the belly tight. Okay, I'm just stalling here. You're going to pulse an inch up. And tiny. Press away from that floor. Breathe comfortable for you. Keeping those shoulders relaxed and your belly tight. The only thing that's working, calves and ankles. You should feel it. Hopefully. 4, 3, 2. Hold them up. Pause right here. Stabilize. Bring the arms out. Up, overhead. Pull the shoulders down. Releve a little higher, higher, higher. And lower the hips. Good. Did you feel that on the outer part of your leg? Yay! Like here? Yeah. Hopefully. Okay, good. We did our job then. And then you should feel a little here. Yeah, so it's deceiving. It looks easy and it's not. Okay. So we're going to take our hands to our hips. We're going to bend into our knees. We're going to shift weight over to our left foot as we lift our right. Okay, hold it. Place that foot down, bend, shift over to the other leg, lifting the opposite. And bend, keeping tension on the band and going really slow. This is your balancing exercise. And I'm trying to make it perfect today. Toes are important here. Belly is really important. So core is tight. All the toes are connected. We're going to go for 3. And you are shifting over to one side. You're not straight up and down as you shift. You're kind of on that diagonal. There's 2. We're doing sets, by the way. Belly is tight. And last set. And you're going to hold it on this next one. Okay, ready? Stabilize. You can have a little bend in the standing leg. We're going to lift that outer leg that's lifted from the floor. We're going to bring our arms out to that T position, but you're kind of hinged over to that standing leg. And we're going to lift it. 10, 9, 8. Core is tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down, hands to hips. Shift over to the other side, lifting the opposite leg. Arms out to a T, hold it. 12 pulses in. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, terrible. 1, yay. Whoa. All right. That was good, you guys. Okay, I'm taking my band off just for a second. I want to do a quick stretch, okay? So I'm just gonna roll myself down to the floor. Hands are in front of each foot. I'm gonna bend one knee, okay? You pick. Whatever knee you bend, walk the hands over toward that foot. So my right knee is bent, my chest is toward my right knee. And I'm gonna push my left hip to the ceiling, okay? So you really wanna push into that straight leg, drop the chest a little deeper toward that bent knee, use the floor, press against it, straighten both legs, bend the other knee, walk the hands over toward that bent side, push into that opposite foot as you press and drop the chest deeper toward that bent knee. Feel a hip stretch, glute stretch. Yep, feels good, right? And then back to center. Suck the belly and tuck the chin. Roll yourself up. And we will sit down. We're going to work on other stuff. All right, so bring your band with you. I already feel like I want my glutes. And by the way, we have more. So I'm going to have you guys first. We'll do a little bit of upper back. So we'll give our back side a little break. So this is kind of fun. All right, so your band is flat. You're going to bring it right above that bend in your elbow. Okay, so I always call this our goalpost position. So sit comfortable for you, okay? And you could even stand up if you don't want to bend the knees or it bugs the hip flexors. So fingertips reach up, palms face each other. You're seated very tall. Your belly is pulling in and you're not going to move anything from the shoulders down, okay? So neck is long. You're going to keep those shoulders down as you open the arms out to the side. And then slowly bring them in. So I want you to resist against the tension of the band. The elbow should not come all the way out to the side. If they do, your band isn't tight enough. And nice and slow. Let's inhale as we close. Exhale, open. Seated tall, spine is long. Inhale, let's go for 3. You should feel the movement coming from the upper back, the shoulder blades. Only go as big as it feels comfortable for you. And we're going to go single arm. So left arm stays static, right arm opens. Bring that right arm back, left arm opens. So as you open, the static arm, the elbow's right out from the shoulder, and the other elbow is just sliding across a flat surface as you open. Let's go for 3. And 2. And last set. And relax. That's a lot of work. I know. Let's sit here real quick. Let's drop our heads side to side. I'm going to switch the cross of my legs. Let go of the band for a second. Hands around the knees or wherever you're comfortable. Let your head fall. Let the head be heavy. Seated tall in the spine. Don't curl around. Lift the chin up. Let the head fall back. Just so careful. And then forehead drops down. Chin to chest. And lift that chin up. Roll the head back. Now let's roll our head to one shoulder. So ear to shoulder. Try to let those shoulders stay down. And then roll back into the other side. So trying to keep that opposition as my right ear goes to right shoulder. I'm drawing my left shoulder down farther. And one more to the opposite side. And sit up nice and tall. We're going to take our band and we're going to place it at our ankles. So they're sticky. They should be kind of sticky. They're supposed to be, right? I'm going to come onto my side, but I'm going to roll myself down first. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to curl and tuck my pelvis under. My knees are bent. I'm gonna bring my knees up to a tabletop and I'm gonna drop my knees to one side. And I'm gonna come up onto my elbow. My knees are in a bent kind of chair position, okay? My heels or my ankles are flexed, and you can always come down too if this is too much, but we will be adding on to kind of lift up the upper body. So to start, I want your, knees apart, ankles apart, okay? We're just gonna open that top knee and bring it right back in line with the hip, keeping tension on the band. So nothing is changing in the shape of the leg. We're just opening it. Okay, so you're not changing the bend in the knee. Okay, and as you open that top hip, make sure you're trying to almost press that top hip forward. Okay, because you don't want to hinge or roll back onto that back side of your glute. Okay, and we're going to go for 5. And here's 3. Good job. 2. Okay. And 1, hold it here and pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, little. 4, I added 1, 3, 2, 1, and close that knee. We're going to come up. We're going to bring that band up to our knees. Just slide it up. We're coming up to our elbows. Trying to fit a lot of stuff in today. And figured I could work out today. Okay. So yay. So you're on your elbow now, and your neck is long, and you're lifted from that rib cage. Okay. Our feet are stacked now, and that bottom foot, toes are full pointed. Your kind of inner feet are touching together. Top hip, don't let it roll back. You're going to open the top knee, and you're just going to close it to where you have tension on that band. Oh man, that's going to hurt. If it's not, well, maybe not. If it's not flat, it might irritate, but I don't know. Sorry. You know, these things are so sticky, they stick to everything, right? So you're just opening with that glute med, that top part of your outer part of your butt. You're pulling your belly tight. Sorry, Janet. 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it here. We're going to lift up that hip, so we're going onto the knee, but it'll be the side of the knee. You can use your top hand to support. We're going to close the knee, open the knee. So as you're opening, I want you to keep that belly tight. Press that knee behind you, like you're pressing the knee to the wall behind you. Your neck is long. Go for 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and come on down. Come back down to your elbow. Bring that knee up to that book position. We're going to draw little circles with our knee. Little circles. Make them slow. Let's exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. Good. Belly tight. Hips are still. Go slow. 2 and 1 and reverse. 10, 9. This will be it on this side. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower down. Yay. And come on to your back side, and then roll over to your other side. I'm going to switch around. While you're up, take that band back to the ankles. Sorry, Janet. Poor Janet. I know, sliding up and down the legs with these pants. Bands is hard. Oh gosh. Okay, we'll start low with our head on our bottom arm, or lifted, whatever feels good for you. So again, line yourself up and organize. Keep your belly tight. Your legs are separated. You're just opening that top knee and pulling it back behind you on an exhale. Okay? So your top hand can be right here on your hip to remind you to not let that hip roll back, right? We're not doing that work. We're trying to target here. And you're exhaling. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and open up and close. We're going to bring the band up to our knees. Sorry, my plan wasn't as good as I thought it was. All right. Sorry, ladies, all that shifting, it gives you a break anyway. All right, so feet are now in that clam position. Our feet are stacked, our toes are pointed. The bottom foot stays on that floor and you keep tension on that top. And I'm going to come up for me. I'm going to come up to start. And I'm going to press that knee behind me, not letting that top hip roll back. Okay, so remember from here, we're going to come up off our hips. So I want to get on my elbow. So I'm lifted from my rib cage. My neck is long. Good. Good. My feet are pushing together. That's perfect. You got it. Lengthen your legs a little bit longer. So good. It's ready to roll. Here's 3, 2, 1. We're going to come up off the hip now, pressing the hips forward. You're going to open that knee and close. Exhale, open. We'll fix it. Sorry if your bands are rolling up into little knots. 2, 1, and lower down. Come back down to the elbow. Bring the feet into that book or legs into the book position. Flex those ankles. Circle with control the top knee. If you're drawing little circles on the wall across the room from you, your belly is tight. And 3, 2, 1, and switch for 10. I did 12 on the side. So we're going to add 2 more. And 2, and 1, and relax. And now you can roll over onto your back. We'll do a quick stretch. So band will stay where it is. Fix your band if you need to. I guess I'm used to these things. All right. So all I want you to do is let yourself relax on the mat, but keep a little tension on the band. I'm going to open up the arms wide. Okay. Feet are comfortable. Band has a little tension. Just going to have you roll up into a bridge on an exhale. So shoulders are nice and relaxed and open. Neck and chin, no tension. Inhale, exhale, imprint. Tailbone comes up. Push up from the floor with the feet. Pull the belly tight. Push into the heels as you squeeze those glutes. And then if you think of pulling the heels back to the glutes, you may feel that your knees shift more over your toes. You can try that. Taking the inhale at the top, exhale, roll it down. Keep those knees reaching over the toes. This is just a stretch, by the way. I'm not going to make it too much. Not too much. And exhale, roll it up. Knees start to move over the top of the toes as you start to lift the pelvis as high as you can, pushing down, squeezing those glutes as you roll. One bone at a time. And again, hold it up here. So at the top, get yourself nice and comfortable so your neck is relaxed, shoulders are open. We're going to rotate the toes apart. Okay, so just open up your toes. And if you need more tension on the band, you can widen the feet a little bit. I want a little external position. We're going to lift the heels and lower. So no moving in the knees. So you don't want your knees wobbling, right? You have this tension that you're trying to pull against. Don't let the band pull the knees in. We're going to go for 2. Squeeze those glutes and keep your belly as tight as you can. Hold it up on 1. We're going to lower the pelvis half, release the glutes, push the pelvis up as you push down into the toes. Lower, release, push up. Lower, release, squeeze up. Inhale down, exhale, press. And 2. And here's your last one. Hold it here. Flare the knees. Maybe 3 inches. Come back to center or neutral. Open 3, neutral. Keep the hips as high and still as you can. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And roll. Good job. Bring your knees into the chest. And rock side to side. I think we hit our back side. Are you planting your flowers? Spring is coming, which means summer is coming, which means booty work and arms. Yeah, for I know, I'm laying off the arms a little bit today. Yeah. All right, so our band will stay right. We are going to bring our knees. So the band is wrapped around your knees, nice and flat. Knees are right over the hips. You're going to open up the arms wider than your mat, keeping tension on the band. You're going to keep your belly tight, and we're just going to let the the knees drop toward the left as that right hip comes up. So as you're here, your shoulders are down. Pay attention to that top knee. Did it shift backwards? Reach it over the top or bottom knee as you come back to center. Inhale, let's go the other way. Knee, top knee, lined up with the bottom. Exhale, pull it back. Keep your belly as tight as you can as you dip to one side. And as you exhale, tighten it even deeper with that breath. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. One more each side. Make yourself even. One more to the left. And one more to the right. And your shoulders are nice and open and staying down. And pause right here. We're going to stay in that tabletop. We're going to bring our hands behind our head. We're going to open up our elbows, keeping that separation of the band or the knees to keep tension on the band. We're going to keep our tabletop, disassociate the pelvis from the belly so the knees do not come into the chest. You're going to just lift the chest like you're lifting it toward the thighs. Inhale, roll it down. Exhale, lift. You should only come up maybe to the bottoms of your shoulder blades. It shouldn't be a big crunch. It's a little warmer. And exhale, light, lift up and over the chest. Don't pull the head up with the hands. Use the belly to lift the chest. Pull the ribs together and back on that exhale. And number two. And take a quick breath. Place your feet on the floor and just give yourself a little wiggle. All right, so back to that. We're going to add leg extension, okay? So bring those legs back to a tabletop. Take your inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. So we're trying to constantly work this outer part of the legs today, by the way, a little bit too. So as we lift our chest, we'll extend the legs long. As we roll down, the knees come back to tabletop. Elbows are wide. Reach on the exhale. Inhale, lower down. Exhale. Inhale, down. Exhale, here's 4. And 3. Trying to keep those knees mirroring each other. Here's 2. And 1. Hold it here. Lift the legs up. Lower the legs down. Trying to keep tension on the band, so make it slow. Head is lifted, chin is tucked. We'll go for 2. And last 1. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor, and roll yourself down. All right, we have to move the band again. All right. I'm going to flip around. So I want you guys to just take your breath and take a breather here, and I'm going to slide. We'll all slide our bands back down to our ankle. We're going to do some obliques. Underneath my band, I was kind of steamy. Okay, so legs are long, and I gave you guys pads under your hips, okay? Just in case. All right. So again, we're going to try to keep tension on the band. It's around our ankles. Our legs are separated. Our ankles are kind of flexed, but definitely not pointed. And we're just going to lift the legs up and lower back down, but maybe not all the way to the floor. Lift up and lower. So we're trying to lift with our obliques. Don't swing the legs, just a tiny lift from that side waist. Okay, so as you lift, your long spine, belly tight. 4 and 3. Make it slow. 2 and 1. Hold, hold, hold. Now draw the bottom leg down and keep that top leg lifted. Okay, top is up. You should feel that side waist. Your belly is tight. And all you're doing is lowering the bottom leg with tension on the top. 2 and 1. Hold it up, bend the knees, extend, bend, extend. Try to stay balanced on the hip. And 2 and 1. Yes. And I'm going to switch around to the other side. You guys are going to roll on your other side. That's good. All right. Still working those outer glutes. Yay. All right. Arm is long underneath you. Legs are extended long. So ankles, hips, and shoulder lined up in one nice long line. You're lifted in that rib cage. We're going to lift the legs up, lower down. So try to lift from that waist, right? That side waist. Don't let the hips roll back, so it shouldn't be huge. You can push into that top hand, but really try to get that side waist, so that oblique, even though you might be feeling the glutes too. 3 and 2. Hold the legs high. Now bottom leg lowers and lifts. Lowers. So you're resisting against that bottom leg by pulling or keeping the top leg static. 3 and 2 and 1. Hold the legs high. Bend, extend for 6. Inhale, belly is tight. Keep your breath. Inhale, bend, exhale, extend. 3 and 2 and 1, and lower down. Good. Okay. I'm going to have you guys come up. We're going to stretch. So you can take that band off. Okay. Come up to a mermaid position just for a stretch. All right. So you're comfortable with your bend in your knees. One hand will go to the floor. So the knee that's in front, that's the hand that's on the floor out to the side. The other reaches out to that seat. Palm can always go up or down. Inhale up. As you come over, push into the hand that's on the mat and really try to press that top hip down to the floor as you curl. And then come up nice and tall. We're going to go the other way. And as you rotate or curl to that side, you can glance up to the ceiling if it feels okay, and come up and over. We'll go again. Other way. So as I start to curl at that side, then I start to organize. So on my belly tight, pushing into that floor. Coming up. Went a little bit faster than I planned, but I have a lot more stuff. Don't worry. All right, it's there. I was thinking I wasn't going to have enough time. Okay, so my right knee's in front, my right hand's on the mat, seated tall. Inhale up, grow longer in the spine, over, and then push myself away, pushing my hip down to the mat, and then coming up. One more time to the right. And then into that lower elbow. Push, push, push into that palm. Reach up. We'll go one more time this way. And then how you guys roll yourself down. We're going to do a couple of those. We'll leave our band away from us now. That terrible. Right. I was thinking, oh, we'll use the band. No, I'm kind of bored with the band. But actually, it'll be fun. We'll come up with some different stuff. Okay, so I really want you to ground the tailbone and the sitting bones down to the mat. Lengthen the spine, pull your belly tight. Chin has a little tuck, and you're going to exhale and just start to curl and roll to the back side of your pelvis and just pause right there. And don't go all the way down. So right here, check in. Roll it up on an exhale. Keep reaching and rounding through the spine. Reach forward. Pull your belly back as you reach through the fingers. Let the shoulders come up to the ears. And then straighten yourself up. Drop the shoulders down. Flatten the spine. And so again, halfway, whatever that is for you, where you feel like your feet might just want to lift off. That's enough, right? And staying in that big curl. Belly pulls back. Fingertips reach for the toes. Pulling your navel to your spine, reaching for the toes. Let the shoulders pull up to the ears. You should feel a deep spinal stretch. We'll go all the way down. walk my feet. And then down to the floor. Okay. Let your feet stay on the mat. Bring your knees and toes and feet together. Arms are relaxed. We're just going to let our knees drop, okay? So I want you to let them drop to one side. Stack the feet. And I know I always say this, but I really have to remind you that as you stretch, just try to find wherever you feel tension, try to let it go. Start to think from the crown of the head all the way to the tips of the toes. Is there any tension? And maybe you find that the knees drop a little deeper as you relax your stretch. And then tighten the belly as you exhale, bring the knees back. And then let's go the other way. So kind of spiral twisting the spine. One side might feel different. So as you get into your stretch, just try to settle. Let the shoulders be open. Let the knees relax. Even that bottom knee maybe drops away from the top knee. And then belly is tight, comes back. We're going to add a head turn. So let's drop our knees to one side. So I'm going to the right. I'm going to look to the left or look away from my knees. As I slide my left arm up, I'm looking to the left. I want to slide it up and reach through the fingers. Try to reach the arm up. Maybe the bicep is next to the ear, then your knees are pulling opposite, and then come back to center. We'll go the other way. Knees drop first. As the head turn, let that arm that the head is facing slide up. When it comes up as far as you feel good, reach through those fingers and try to stretch out that whole waist, that whole side, and then come back to center. And we're going to bring our knees back to a tabletop. Okay, so we're going to take an inhale. And as we exhale, we'll bring them to tabletop. We're going to open them to just maybe a little wider than hips, okay? And we're going to bring our arms up to the ceiling. We're going to pull our shoulders down. Okay, so we're just going to do a little rotation, oblique work before we finish, okay? So take your inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to chin to chest, reach through the center of the legs. Inhale, roll it down. Now we're going out to right hand out to the right side of the thigh, left through the center, left hand center, and then we'll switch. We're going to the left side with the left. And back down, and now we're going center. Exhale, reach. Inhale down, we'll go out to the right. Reach. So as you come up, we're going to the left now. As you come up, pull that left rib down. Keep that chin tucked. We're going through center. Okay, so I'm just going right side. Roll it down. Left side. Roll it down. Find center. Okay, now we're going out to the left. Roll that pause here. So thinking of just lifting from that left rib cage, I want you to pulse. Reaching through the center of the legs, but not letting hips move. You're just lifting and your chin is tucked. And if you need to support your head, you can do that with one hand. 3, 2, 1. Roll down. Roll up. Come through center. Pulse through the center of the legs. Reach. Reach. Ribs pull back as you lift. Chin is tucked. Look down to the belly. 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. We're going to the outside of the right, and then we're finished. So pulse it up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. Feet to the floor. Hands come down. Let's pull our knees into our chest. And rock side to side. Let's stir those knees. So pull them in deep. Let your hips go side to side. And if you've gone one direction, switch. Really try to let that spine kind of release. Let yourself get that backside massage. And pause. You can let your feet come to the floor. We're going to take our circle, the circle that we made from our strap, and we're going to put it on one foot. Okay, just one foot. This is the end, by the way. This is your trying to relax but stay connected. Okay, we haven't done this in a long time. I used to close every mat class with this. So first, my right foot is in the strap. Okay, I'm going to press my right hip down. So I have that neutral spine. I'm pushing that right hip down. I'm drawing that leg towards me. So it's that opposition that I always say in Pilates, opposition. The other knee is bent and comfortable, and I want you to flex those toes as big as you can. So I want you to feel that stretch all the way up back. And then bend the knee, relax. Stretch it straight up again. Okay. Take that strap in the hand, same hand as the leg. I'm going to just turn my thumb kind of pointing toward my body. The strap is in the palm of my hand. Just going to keep my hand still as I open my leg out to the side. Little bend for me in the knee and a little external. Now I'm going to counterbalance with my opposite knee. So I've got this big wide inner thigh stretch going. If you need more, you can draw the toes with the band toward that shoulder, or you can straighten the leg. That doesn't feel good for me at all. So I keep a little bend. And then I'm going to close everything up, bringing that opposite knee and take the band in the other hand. Little bend in that knee as I go over cross center of my body. And my toes are pointed to the floor. My hip is up. And again, try to get into that hip. So pushing that hip away or pulling it to the floor. It may lift a little. That's fine. It's just a little stretch. And then come back to the center. And we're going to start our circle. So you have two tails on your band. You can take each tail in one hand, each hand like that for just stability. Hands will stay bent or elbows bent. Shoulders wide, belly tight. Lower the leg down and just lift it up with the belly. Okay. So remember, we're not tipping here back and forth with our pelvis. And trying to think of this leg extending from your abdominal area, not just your hip. So as you exhale and bring the leg up, you're tightening up that belly. As you inhale, keep it tight. And try not to let the pelvis tip back and forth. Almost like you're pushing the sacrum down to the floor. So one more. No work in the hip flexors. Tighten your belly. The next time you lower, you're going to go open to the side, come up, and down to the center. So just making little circles, big or little. As that leg opens out to the side, don't let that hip, opposite hip lift. 2. And 1. And we're going to reverse. So let the leg be heavy in that band. Trust your band. And right when I say that, that's always when the bad thing happens. It's not going to happen. And we'll go for 2. Rest that leg in the band. And last one, belly is so tight. Good. And bring the leg up. Let's switch sides. So just take your left foot into the band. Try to make sure that it's flat. And then I'm going to take that band into my left hand. I'm going to start with that stretch. So my opposite knee without the band is bent and comfortable. My belly is tight. I'm going to flex my toes or flex my ankle, pressing my left hip down as I draw that leg toward me with that big flex. And we'll bend the knee. We'll go up one more time. Straight up. Press into the band, press the hip down, pull, pull, pull. And then I'm going to take that band in that same side hand, maybe a little less tension, keeping my belly tight. I'm going to bend the knee a tiny bit, open it out to the side. Don't let the opposite hip lift, let the knee open instead. That'll keep that hip down. And just find your stretch. So let yourself settle, remember, relax. Straight leg for some people is fine here. That's fine. I can't do that. A deeper stretch. You can draw that leg toward the shoulder. And then nice and slow, close everything into the center. Internally rotate and drop that leg across your center line. So you can do it how you want here. If you want to pull on that strap, just press that hip down and away. Don't let that hip lift. It's not about a spine stretch here. It's about that whole IT band, your hip. And then nice and slow, come back to center. I'm going to take the band, both hands. I'm just going to start lowering and lifting. Okay, so just a nice slow lower and a lift up with that exhale and the belly. All right, so inhale down Exhale. And if you need that reminder, take a hand to one hip bone and see, are my hips tipping? They shouldn't be. If you had headlights on your this pointy part of your hips, they'd be right up to the ceiling, not going back and forth or side to side on the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. We're going to start our circle. So you're going to externally rotate, drop that leg open, and sweep it down, up through center. Let's inhale as we open. Exhale. Take that in both hands. Do that. And again, no wobbling on the pelvis. Flat. Your back side is stuck. Like Velcro to the mat. Shoulders are open, and you're going to reverse on this next one. So lower, down, open. And we'll just go for 4. Let the leg be heavy. Let it kind of relax. Let the belly do the work. And just 2. And last. And bring that leg up, bend that knee, and take that strap off. Good morning. You're here early today. All right. You guys stay with me and do a roll up. Just challenge yourself to finish. I know we're over, but let's do it. Pull the shoulders down. Take that inhale. Chin to chest. Start to reach for the toes. Pull the belly back. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yay, you guys. Thank you. Thanks. Happy Monday.